Has started, so I'm going to get going with the reading. Can somebody who is watching confirm whether they are able to hear me? Hello? Okay, I'm just going to play it myself and see. Yeah, all right. Sounds good. So, just going through the book now. We already completed 2 chapters of The Animal Farm by George Orwell, and now we are going to go into chapter 3. So, we're going to quickly summarize what happened in the first 2 chapters. In the first chapter, the animals all got together and got introduced uh, to the ideology or the system of thought that the pig, uh, the major, uh, the major had thought of, or whatever. Siksha Dingaru, hello. I'm
Hello,
just
sir.
summarizing the hello, sir. I'm just summarizing the first 2 chapters, and then we can go into the third chapter. So
Sure,
after the
sir.
first chapter, yeah, after the first chapter, when all the animals started learning about this system of thought, then the major died peacefully in his sleep. But then there were a couple of pigs as well as a few animals that wanted to carry forward the system of thought or the ideology that the major had introduced them to. So there were a couple of pigs uh, that were very interested, and they sort of by default became the leaders, right? One of the pigs was this very pig that had a lot of credibility within the group called Napoleon, basically, right? Napoleon was less outgoing and more of a thoughtful kind of pig. Yeah, Shravan Kumar Garu, hello sir. Welcome to the panel.
Namaskaram. Hi, Shiksha.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram.
Hello, sir.
And then, so I already gave the link. If anybody wants to join, they're more than welcome to join. But the first part, we'll just keep reading, basically. Then there was another pick called Snowball that was also into the philosophy that was espoused by the, or that was introduced by the major. That was called animalism. Now, so, and then in chapter 2, we also saw that there were s- the animals had rebelled against mm, the animals had rebelled against the human beings and then drove them away from the farm. And they changed the name of the farm from manor farm to animal farm. And they had also written the 7 commandments of the animalism. Dao Ji Garu, hello. Welcome to the panel. If you want, you can unmute and speak, sir, or ma'am, whoever you are. Sir, you came from 2 different devices.
Yeah, the two devices in such an matter.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm new to this setup. That's why.
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
no problem, sir. Take your time. Whenever you are ready, you can talk. So I'll get going with the reading, and then we can pull you into the discussion whenever you are ready. So with that, the animals now own the farm and they're ready to get to work. In chapter 2, we stopped with saying that, look, the cows were milked, but suddenly the milk had disappeared and the animals had noticed it, right? And that's how it all ended. So now let's go to chapter 3 and get going. Chapter 3, The Animal Farm by George Orwell. How they toiled and sweated to get the hay in, but their efforts were rewarded, for the harvest was an even bigger success than they had hoped. Sometimes the work was hard. The implements had been designed for human beings and not for animals, and it was a great drawback that no animal was able to use any tool that involved standing on his hind legs. Hind legs means the legs that are in the back. But the pigs were so clever that they could think of a way around every difficulty. As for the horses, they knew every inch of the field and, in fact, understood the business of mowing and raking far better than Jones and his men had ever done. The pigs did not. Jones and his men were the human beings that were working on the farm, and Jones was the owner of the farm. The pigs did not actually work, but directed and supervised the others. Point to be noted. With their superior knowledge, it was natural that they should assume the leadership. Another point. Boxer and Clover, the cart horses that drew the cart, would harness themselves to the cutter or the horse rake. No bits or reins were needed in these days, of course, because the horses were doing the horses did the work willingly, so there was no need to rein them in basically. So the horses would harness themselves to the cutter or the horse rake and tramp steadily round and round the field, with the pig walking behind and calling out, "Gee up, comrade! Woe back, comrade!" So, "Gee up, comrade" means they are cheering the horse to go faster, or slow down. That's what they were saying, as the case might be. And every animal, so they were sitting on the sidelines and cheering the horse, as the horses did all the work. And every animal, down to the humblest, worked at turning the hay and gathering it. Even the ducks and hens toiled to and fro all day in the sun, carrying tiny wisps of hay in their beaks. In the end, they finished the harvest in 2 days less time than it had usually taken Jones and his men. Moreover, it was the biggest harvest that the farm had ever seen. There was no wastage whatever. The hens and ducks, with their sharp eyes, had gathered up the very last stock, and not an animal on the farm had stolen so much as a mouthful of hay. So there was a lot of honest and hard work that was going on. So, Dauji Garu, can you speak now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, we are able to hear you clearly. Yeah, please introduce yourself, sir. Then we can proceed.
Yeah, my real name is Hemant, but
No,
I
you don't
prefer
have to
Down.
reveal your real name,
Okay.
but thanks
I'm
for
from MP.
you are from MP. Acha,
No,
okay,
no
very
problem.
good.
Uh,
Yeah,
I'm from Madhya Pradesh, and
yeah,
firstly, I would like to tell you that my English is not very good. Okay, just okay.
which is fine, which is absolutely
But I can
fine.
understand,
So,
and I can understand very well, but I'm not able to speak fluently.
no, no, you can speak however you want, sir. We will understand. So, no problem. Thank you. So, let's proceed. If you have any question or if you want to make a comment, please stop us. We'll be more than happy to take your comments. Okay.
Uh, Comment is this: that thank you for starting this. And like, I have been just here for like 3-4 days back. I've seen your channel, and I just loved it. That's
Okay.
why
Very
I
good.
asked
Thank
in
you.
the comment, "Okay, how can I join?" Then you tell me, so I just came.
Yeah, yeah, no problem, sir. You are more than welcome. We are happy to have you. Thank you. Okay. All through the summer, the work on the farm went like clockwork. The animals were happy as they had never conceived it possible to be. Every mouthful of food was an acute positive pleasure. Of course, it's the fruit of their hard work, right? And of course, there is also no perceived master now, so it seems even more palatable and pleasurable. Now that it was truly their own food, produced by themselves and for themselves, not doled out to them by a grudging master. With the worthless, parasitical human beings gone, there was more for everyone to eat. There was more leisure too, inexperienced though the animals were. They met with many difficulties. For instance, later in the year, when they harvested the corn, they had to tread it out in the ancient style and blow away the chaff with their breath, since the farm possessed no threshing machine. Threshing machine is a machine that separates the corn from the husk, basically. So, because there was no threshing machine, they had to do everything with their feet and with their whatever they had in their at their disposal. But the pigs, with their cleverness, and Boxer, with his tremendous muscles, always pulled them through. Boxer, one of the bigger cart horse, was the admiration of everybody. He had been a hard worker even in the Joneses' time, but now he seemed more like three horses than one. There were days when the entire work of the farm seemed to rest on his mighty shoulders. From morning to night, he was pushing and pulling, always at the spot where the work was hardest. He had made an arrangement with one of the cockerels to call him in the mornings half an hour earlier than anyone else, and would put in some volunteer labor at whatever seemed to be the most needed before the regular day's work began. So he was working extra time, overtime. He used to wake up ahead of everybody else with an alarm, basically. That was a bird alarm. His answer to every problem, every setback was, I will work harder. So, truly a workhorse, basically, doing it willingly. There's no better scenario than that, which he had adopted as his personal motto. What was his personal motto? I will work harder. But everyone worked according to his capacity. The hens and ducks, for instance, saved 5 bushels of corn. A bushel of corn is like a basket of corn, basically. It's typically used to measure the corn husks. When you put everything into a basket, it's like a basket of corn. So 5 bushels of corn means 5 baskets of corn. So the hens and ducks saved 5 bushels of corn, which is a lot, at the harvest by gathering up the stray grains. Nobody stole, nobody grumbled over his rations. The quarreling and biting and jealousy, which had been normal features of life in the old days, had almost disappeared. Nobody shirked. Shirked means nobody shied away from work. Or almost nobody. Nobody. Most animals worked hard. Molly, it was true, was not good at getting up in the mornings and had a way of leaving work early on the ground that there was a stone in her hoof. And it was the other horse, basically, right? Or probably the donkey, I don't know which is what. But and the behavior of the cat was somewhat peculiar. It was soon noticed that when there was work to be done, the cat could never be found. She would vanish for hours on end and reappear at meal times or in the evening after the work was over, as though nothing had happened. But she always made such excellent excuses and purred so affectionately. Purring means cats make a sound, which is supposed to be very nice to hear or whatever. The purring of cats, they say, that it was impossible not to believe in her good intentions, right? So Benjamin was a donkey. So Molly is the other horse, basically the mare or whatever, the one with the ribbons and everything. Old Benjamin, the donkey, seemed quite unchanged since the rebellion. He did his work in the same slow, obstinate way. Obstinate means unchanging way, difficult to change, obstinate way, as he had done it in Jones's time, never shirking and never volunteering for extra work either. So never shied away from work, but at the same time never volunteered for extra work either. Just he was just doing it in his own slow and obstinate way. About the rebellion and its results, he would express no opinion. When asked whether he was not happier now that Jones was gone, he would say only what? What would he say? Donkeys live a long time. None of you has ever seen a dead donkey, right? So he said that, look, we live for a long time, so I have seen a lot of things, and I'm going to outlive you guys. So you might see a change, but for me, it doesn't matter, kind of an attitude. And the others had to be content with this cryptic answer, right? So he used to give this cryptic answer whenever somebody had asked him something, right? Are you happier or not? Well, it doesn't matter, kind of an answer. On Sundays, there was no work. Breakfast was an hour later than usual, and after breakfast, there was a ceremony which was observed every week without fail. So, what is the ceremony? First came the hoisting of the flag. Snowball had found in the harness room an old green tablecloth of Mrs. Jones and had painted on it a hoof with a horn in white. So, animal symbols were painted on the flag, which was essentially a tablecloth or something, and then it was hoisted every Sunday, flag hoisting. This was run up the flagstaff in the farmhouse garden every Sunday morning. The flag was green, Snowball explained, to represent the green fields of England, while the hoof and horn signified the future republic of the animals. Okay, so they were saying that England is going to become a republic of the animals, which would arise when the human race had been finally overthrown. Right, you just see the parallels, right? So the animals had to overthrow all the humans in order to make the republic of the animals. After the hoisting of the flag, all the animals trooped into the big barn for a general assembly, which was known as the meeting, basically, right? So there was a general assembly, like a mass after the flag hoisting, and then it was called the meeting. Here, the work of the coming week was planned out, and resolutions were put forward and debated. It was always the pigs who put forward the resolutions. Surprise, right? The other animals understood how to vote, but could never think of any resolutions of their own. Snowball and Napoleon were by far the most active in the debates, but it was noticed that these two were never in agreement. Whenever whatever suggestion either of them made, the other could be counted on to oppose it. Hang on, was there somebody that rejoined or joined? That's okay. Let me continue. Right, so there was a lot of debate and they never agreed, basically. Whatever suggestion either of them made, the other could be counted on to oppose it. Even when it was resolved, a thing no one could object to in itself, to set aside the small, for example, to set aside the small paddock behind the orchard as a home of the rest of the animals who were past work, there was a stormy debate over the correct retiring age for each class of animal. The meeting always ended with the singing of Beasts of England, and afternoon was given up to recreation, basically. So the whole we have to debate every bill in the parliament kind of an approach, right? So whether you like it or whether you don't like it, whether it's going to pass or not, there's always a stormy debate. Debates are good, basically. The pigs had set aside the harness room as a headquarters for themselves. So pigs had a separate club room, basically. Here in the evenings, they studied blacksmithing, carpentering, and other necessary arts from the books which they had brought out of the farmhouse. Snowball also busied himself with organizing the other animals into what are called animal committees. Okay, he was indefatigable at this. Indefatigable means he had so much energy that he would never be fatigued, right? Creating new committees, basically. So it was impossible for him to get tired while creating committees. He formed the Egg Production Committee for the hens, the Clean Tails League for the cows, the Wild Comrades Re-Education Committee. The object of this was to tame the rats and rabbits, the Wither Wool movement for the sheep, and various others, besides instituting classes in reading and writing. On the whole, these projects were a failure. The attempt to tame the wild creatures, for instance, broke down almost immediately. They continued to behave very much as before, and when treated with generosity, simply took advantage of it. This is too funny. Hang on, is there somebody? Somebody is cutting in and out. I don't know. That's okay. I don't know if somebody wants to join. Okay. So essentially, all
Sir,
these committees. Yes, sir.
sir,
Yes,
what
go
are
ahead.
those wild animals, sir, that are about to be tamed?
Let's see.
Only rats and rabbits or
Only
any
rats
other
and
animal?
rabbits and probably some of the other non-farm animals. So you can think of farm
Okay.
animals as animals that are part of the domesticated
Animal
animals.
farm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the wild animals are the ones that are just there, like some birds probably and uh, mice and some of the other ones, right? So
Okay,
then
sir.
the cat joined the re-education committee and was very active in it for some days. She was seen one day sitting on a roof and talking to some sparrows who were just out of her reach. She was telling them that all animals were now comrades and that any sparrow who chose to come close and perch on her paw. Okay, so the cat was trying to convince the sparrows that it's not going to harm them because they're all equal, no animal shall be killed and all that. But the sparrows kept their distance. The reading and writing classes, however, were a great success. By the autumn means the end of summer and then when the cooler seasons start, right? So autumn, winter, spring, summer. So these are the more or less the 4 seasons basically. Almost every animal on the farm was literate in some degree basically. So all the animals, they became literate in something or the other. As for the pigs, they could already read and write perfectly. The dogs learned to read fairly well, but were not interested in reading anything except the seven commandments. Muriel the goat could read somewhat better than the dogs, and sometimes used to read to the others in the evenings from scraps of newspaper which she found in the rubbish heap. Benjamin the donkey could read as well as any pig, but never exercised his faculty, so indifferent, doesn't care. So far as he knew, he said there was nothing worth reading. There you go. Clover learned the whole alphabet, but could not put words together, right? Clover is the other cart horse. Boxer could not go beyond the letter D. He would trace out ABCD in the dust with his great hoof, and then would stand staring at the letters with his ears back, sometimes shaking his forelock, trying with all his might to remember what came next, and never succeeding, basically. On several occasions, indeed, he did learn E, F, G, H, but by the time he knew them, it was always discovered that he had forgotten A, B, C, and D. Finally, he decided to be content with the first four letters and used to write them out once or twice every day to refresh his memory. Molly refused to learn any but the six letters, which spelt her own name. She would form those very neatly out of pieces of twig and would then decorate them with a flower or two and walk around them admiring them. So this is the mare basically, right? None of the other animals on the farm could get further than the letter A. It was also found that the stupider animals, such as the sheep, hens, and ducks, were unable to learn the seven commandments by heart. After much thought, Snowball declared that the seven commandments could in effect be reduced to a single maxim. Maxim means a very small piece of truth expressed in a very short sentence, basically. So, what was the single maxim of the seven commandments? Four legs good, two legs bad. So, that was the essence of the entire seven commandments. This, he said, contained the essential principle of animalism. Whoever had thoroughly grasped it would be safe from human influences. The birds at first objected, since it seemed to them that they also had two legs. But Snowball proved to them that this was not so. What is the proof? A bird's wing, comrades, he said, is an organ of propulsion and not of manipulation. It should therefore be regarded as a leg. The distinguishing mark of a man is the hand, the instrument with which he does all his mischiefs. The birds did not understand Snowball's long words, but they had accepted his explanation, and all the humbler animals set to work to learn the new maxim by heart. Four legs good, two legs bad was inscribed on the end wall of the barn above the seven commandments and in bigger letters. When they had once got it by heart, the sheep developed a great liking for this maxim, and often as they lay in the field, they would all start bleating. Four legs good, two legs bad. Four legs good, two legs bad. And keep it up for hours on end, never growing tired of it. So it was like a slogan that they really liked repeating or over and over again. Napoleon took no interest in Snowball's committees. He said that the education of the young was more important than anything that could be done for those who were already grown up. It happened that Jessie and Bluebell had both whelped soon after the hay harvest, giving birth between them 9 sturdy puppies. So both the dogs had given birth to 9 sturdy puppies. As soon as they were weaned means taken away from their moms, Napoleon took them away from their mother, saying that he would make himself responsible for their education. So Napoleon is the other pig, basically. He took up, he took them up into a loft which could only be reached by a ladder from the harness room, and there kept them in such seclusion that the rest of the farm soon forgot their existence. So he took all the 9 puppies and put them in a secluded place. The mystery of where the milk went to was soon cleared up. It was mixed every day into the pig's mash. Okay, so the pigs were putting it in their food basically. The early apples were now ripening, and the grass of the orchard was littered with windfalls. Windfall means when the wind blows, the apples that are ripe they fall from the tree, right? So whatever remains under the apple tree, the apples they are called windfall basically, right? So apples fall everywhere below the apple tree. That's why the grass of the orchard was littered with windfalls. The animals had assumed, as a matter of course, that those would be shared out equally. One day, however, the order went forth that all the windfalls were to be collected and brought to the harness room for the use of the pigs, of course. Right? So the pigs were taking the windfalls as well. At this, some of the other animals murmured, but it was no use. The pigs were in full agreement on this point. Even Snowball and Napoleon. Squealer was sent to make the necessary explanation to the other. Squealer is the other pig, which is, it can speak very well. It has a way of swaying back and forth when it talks, that kind of stuff, right? So what did Squealer say as an explanation? Comrades, he cried, you do not imagine, I hope, that we pigs are doing this in a spirit of selfishness and privilege. Many of us actually dislike milk and apples. I dislike them myself. Our sole object in taking these things is to preserve our health. Milk and apples, this has been proven by science, comrades, contain substances absolutely necessary to the well being of a pig. We pigs are brain workers. The whole management and organization of the farm depend on us. Day and night we are watching over your welfare. It is for your sake that we drink that milk and eat those apples. Do you know what would happen if the pigs failed in our duty? Jones would come back, right? Yes, Jones would come back. Surely, comrades, cried Squealer. So, almost pleadingly, skipping from side to side and whisking his tail. Surely there's no one among you who wants to see Jones come back, right? That's what Squealer said. Now, if there was one thing that the animals were completely certain of, it was that they did not want Jones back. When it was put to them in this light, they had no more to say. The importance of keeping the pigs in good health was all too obvious. So it was agreed without further argument that the milk and the windfall apples and also the main crop of apples when they ripened should be reserved for the pigs alone. Okay, so that brings us to the end of chapter 3. There are so many themes in this particular chapter. I don't even know where to start, right? But we'll give
Drinking
Siksardin
milk
and
is fantastic.
huh? Yeah.
ఎందుకంటే they say if we don't drink, somebody else will drink it all.
Correct,
So
correct.
ultimately, the same thing is happening.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
changing.
So basically, there is a what they call as a there is one target that is painted as bad or enemy, and then the entire population is given the fear of that enemy, and then whatever is the best part of the harvest or whatever it is taken away by whoever is creating this narrative, basically, right?
Hmm.
And so the leaders who are the pigs, they never get to do any work. Their sole objective is to say that two legs bad, four legs good, and then continue to take away all the resources from the farm that they want, basically. So we'll give an opportunity to Sikshardin and then Dauji also, if you want to. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'll use your DP, whatever
His
name you
name
want
is
to use.
Hemant, kada? So he's
Hemant,
already
yeah, we
told,
can
so you
call him
can call
Hemant
him
if he
Hemant.
is okay with it,
Yeah.
or we will give him a chance.
Dauji is okay.
Dauji is okay. Dauji,
Okay.
please tell us what you understood and what your comments are. And
Comments
please
like
speak in English. If you are not comfortable, speak in Hindi. But I encourage you to speak in English.
okay.
Yeah.
Mind blowing the book is like I love that book. Okay. Firstly, and your narration is also on point. Okay.
Mm,
And you know that the point when the Iskler said that
mm,
pigs need good food and that this that
mm.
that point, like we can see that now also in our
Mhm.
society.
Exactly correct. So
And
even though the book
when
was,
I was reading
yeah,
for the first
go ahead.
time, I was thinking
Mhm.
that Snowball is a good guy.
Yeah.
Like I was like, Snowball is a good guy, man. He's doing something. Napoleon is the bad guy.
Right. Napoleon is the master manipulator, basically.
Yes,
Slowly as we go through the book, we'll see,
yes,
who the real mastermind is. Yeah.
yes, the real mastermind. And I feel very sad for that, or what was his name? That horse,
Yes.
Molly. No, not Molly.
Not Molly, the
Girl,
other one,
horse.
boxer.
Boxer.
Uh,
Because he works very hard, but we both know the end of
right.
like.
Exactly.
Okay, I just feel bad for him because I think I am also from that what we say slab of economy that the
Mm,
boxer was in that. particular.
I see.
That you need to work hard to gain something. You need to work hard
Mm.
to be something. That was his motive, no? Like that was he says, I will work harder,
I
I will
will
work
work harder.
harder.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
And and then the dogs and the puppies. I think he took puppies for some work, na? He will use them
So
later.
basically, yeah, basically the equivalent of that is the army, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He will. Yes, yes. No, not the army. Can I name it? Can I name it?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
The KGB.
Exactly. So there is a special
Yeah, the
special wing of
KGB.
the exactly special wing of
Yeah.
the personal
I was thinking I should name it or
task
not.
force.
I was thinking like I should name it or not.
You'll be fine. So yeah, yeah, that is the personal. What is that? The personal operatives of the dictator, basically, or the leader.
Yes.
Mm, exactly.
They
And
were
then
the
they do
next generation dogs. Next.
exactly. And then he'll train them to be totally loyal. He'll train
Yes.
them to be, yeah, exactly. His personal. If there's any shady thing to do, he'll just give them the order, and then they'll go do it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, but more to come. It's always fun to
Yes.
see
Yes.
the narrative sort of unfolding slowly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I joined now because I want to tell you when first time I read this book, no, my father gave it to me. Like,
Mm.
hey, you talk a lot about things. Read this, then tell me. Like, I'm a very good reader. I love books. I will read it. And when I started reading, I was like, okay, the like every day it was like you are watching that interstellar movie. Something just
Mm.
pop up in your mind.
Right,
Like, wow,
right.
wow. Every chapter and chapter and chapter, like, okay, this is good. This is not what I have expected from a book named Animal Farm.
Animal Farm.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
there must be animal fighting or something. This is good. I just love this.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Now,
thanks for
Siksha,
sharing, Dawji. Yeah.
thanks for
Where are
letting
you
me
from,
join,
Hemant?
Vishwa.
Which place of India?
I'm from MP, sir. MP,
Good,
Madhya
you're from
Pradesh.
MP. Wonderful. Which area? I have got friends in MP
I'm from
actually.
Chatarpur. Chatarpur.
Satarpur. I got friends in Indore. I've got friends in Bhopal.
Yeah, I lived in Indore for
Hmm.
one year. I
I've got
just
one
moved
from
back to
Jabalpur.
Chatarpur.
Hmm.
Okay, Jabalpur
Yeah,
is.
yeah, go ahead.
And where
Yeah,
are you from?
I'm from
yeah, yeah.
Hyderabad.
He lives in Hyderabad. A long time back, I used to have a friend from Bilaspur.
Oh,
Yeah, New
Bilaspur.
Sarkanda. Back in the day, New Sarkanda was a
And
small
Vishwa,
like
you
locality.
are from Russia.
No, no, I'm not from Russia. I'm from India, but I live in the US.
Good for you. If you lived in Russia, I'm not sure.
Actually, Russia is a changed country now. They have their problems now, but definitely it's not like what it used to be back in the 80s and 90s. Now
Yeah,
it's yeah. Now they have other problems, but they don't have at least that problem.
yeah. Good for us all.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for us.
Mm.
We want any Napoleon now.
No, we don't.
We don't want.
No, but there are
You
some
know
people
the
who there are some people in India who like the Napoleon style, not the French Napoleon, but this Napoleon style leadership.
so they have their Napoleon, na? They have now their Napoleon.
Uh, yes,
Uh, I think I'm in a like what we say danger now.
right, right. No, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's India is still a very free country. You can say a few things as long as you are respectful and not abusive. You can say whatever you want, and nobody is going to.
Yeah, and as long as you are not from minority.
There you go.
Right on that.
Right on that. Yeah, exactly. So Sikshad, then please, it's yours. your comments.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And Daoji, thank you for your comments and all. And sir, Vishwa sir, as usual, I enjoyed a lot today also.
Mm.
All the I was waiting for the suspense actually. Where did the milk go? And that came very later in the chapter, but it came as a surprise,
Right.
and I enjoyed it as well. And thanks to Daoji, you have given a spoiler, given out a spoiler.
I'm so
I
sorry.
was
I'm so
no,
sorry.
see,
No, no, it's all good.
I
It's
was
all good.
I was actually wondering what might happen to those puppies.
Yeah,
I was very curious about it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
now,
no,
yeah, got it.
yeah. No,
So,
initially
yeah,
all
I
the
was,
animals will think Napoleon might have killed them or done something bad. The exact opposite happens.
yes,
But anyway, we'll get to it when we get to it.
yes. No, sir. I was actually wondering what might happen, what might Napoleon
Do with them, yeah.
does to, yeah, to all those puppies. But
Mm,
I was actually leaning towards uh, the same explanation that he might train those puppies,
mm.
and I got it eventually, immediately from Daoji. It's okay. and and the
I'm
most
again saying sorry. Yeah.
No, no,
yeah,
it's
no,
all
no,
good. It's
no, it's
all good.
okay.
No, no, don't worry.
It's
It's
all
all
good.
good.
No, no issues.
Yeah.
And the one thing I most the most hilarious was the explanation of Wheeler, sir.
Right, exactly. There has to be somebody, right? There is a propaganda machine,
Yes,
and Squealer is
yes.
Rasi is the propaganda machine.
First thing was he said, "We pigs, we are brain workers.
Correct.
We need we need all the nutrition we want." And why they need all the resources here? To keep the men away, to keep the
Correct.
humans
To
away.
keep the human beings away. Yeah.
So if you
Because
hit on the right spot,
they use mind now. They
Correct.
do mind
yeah,
work. That's why they need.
no,
Exactly.
they do or don't do. It is what they are claiming.
Correct.
Yeah, I am the scholar
Then-
here. That's what I'm saying. They need for the mind work.
Okay, right, right.
I am the scholar.
Right.
I'm
They,
actually I'm more like the old donkey Benjamin.
Right.
I don't I don't change.
Change your ways that easily. You are just set in your ways,
Yes,
and that's it.
exactly, sir. So
Interesting.
and then the spieler hit on the right spot where all the other animals could not talk against them anyway. They are doing this only for you.
Correct.
So what can the other animals say? Just keep quiet and bend
Accept.
their accept it and keep their heads down and go back to their work.
Go back to work.
They cannot talk against them.
Correct. Correct.
Slowly, I'm understanding that they are taking over. The pigs are taking over, and all the other animals, the thought they are all equals are now becoming slowly unequals.
Right. Absolutely correct.
Slowly, they are going to obey the pigs.
Right.
Yeah, that's it,
Yep.
sir.
Yeah. This is great. So yeah, no, I think this is a great
and I have a
discussion.
question.
Yeah. Yeah. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
So in all these characters, what you guys think you are like?
Yeah,
Like
I'm the
Vishwas
old
said,
donkey.
I am Benjamin.
I'm
Yes, you
Benjamin.
said you are Benjamin, and then
Yeah.
you sir, Kumar sir,
Me?
and Vishwa.
Yeah. 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 Shankar, you go ahead. He's the lawyer, so I don't know where he stands.
He will be the lawyer, na? Oh, he didn't came. The lawyer will come from the like fifth chapter, sixth chapter, I guess.
Yeah. There'll be one person who comes. Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So in my
I
case,
forget
I
his
am the
name.
hu.
Some,
Yeah. In my case, I am the human being. I am Jones.
yeah, you
I
are the
just
one who treat them bad, huh? You are the Jones. Okay.
exactly. So I am the one sitting in the bar and crying about the farm that I got driven away from, basically.
Wonderful, sir. suits exactly suits you a lot.
Exactly. I'm the bad guy.
Okay. I forget that lawyer name in this. Do you
Yeah, it'll
remember?
come. I
Vishwa?
don't remember the name. No, I don't remember the name, but I know that he'll come. We'll get to it. In a couple of weeks, the lawyer will show up. All kinds of people will show up anyway.
Okay. And then I already told I am boxer.
Right.
I will work harder.
Work harder, exactly. Simple, single point formula. Work harder.
Sir, I'm actually wondering who will take the cat spot.
There are so many characters. There's the crow, there's the cat. There are all kinds of like funny and
No,
interesting
I don't
characters,
want to be
right?
the crow. Okay. Crow is just idiot. Crow are the idiot ones in this. If you ask me who is the most idiot one, like Crow. Crow is the most idiot one in this whole scenario. Like Moses and Raven, na?
Right,
Yeah.
Moses. Yeah.
Moses the Raven. Yes, Moses.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember that name. Sugar Candy Mountain.
Correct, exactly. That's the whole promise, right? It is there
Yes,
somewhere.
Sugar Candy. Uh,
Hmm.
I think I've given enough spoilers.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's all
was
it's all
about
good.
to ask you this.
Yeah. No, it's all good, sir. Let's enjoy the reading.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
problem.
Yes.
yeah.
Kumar
Yeah.
sir, what would you like to be? Which character?
I'll have to think
The typical response.
going forward.
Okay.
We'll discuss.
If you gonna think, then you should be the thinking character. I forget his
Hmm.
name. Uh,
Who?
And there
The
are
guy
other
who thinks a
characters which
lot.
are unfolding also, na? You'll have to pick one. I'll pick
You'll
up
have to
two.
Yes,
pick one
yes.
as they unfold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thinking one is the
You
snowball,
are the
right?
cat.
Snowball is the. s-
Sirvan sir is the
Yeah,
cat.
I can be a cat. I'm fine with it.
Bole, who will do the
Right.
work?
Right. Exactly.
Vishwa
Somebody else will do the
Sikchardan and
work.
Tauji do the work. No,
Exactly.
Vishwa Sikchardan and Tauji do the work. I am the cat. I
Correct.
will rest.
Entire communism runs on that lines only, na?
Other do the work. I will enjoy. Huh?
Exactly.
Mm.
No, then we'll
No,
discuss about.
we will tell you how to do work, what kind of work you
Exactly.
have to do, how
Exactly.
to do,
We'll discuss
what
how
to
to do the
do.
work. Yeah. Exactly.
We'll do all that things. Somebody has to guide you, na? How to do all that.
Right. Exactly.
So,
We have Napoleon for that, na?
Mm.
mm.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, Dawji, are you a student or are you working or what is your current situation?
I'm a teacher, but
Oh,
now
okay.
I'm studying. I'm doing
Okay.
B.Ed.
Oh, okay. So, which
I used to
subject do
teach.
you?
I used to
Yeah.
teach
So, which subject do you teach, sir?
social
Social
civics.
studies. Wow. Okay. So, you are the right man for this novel, actually.
Mm.
Right in the right spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this should be made required reading for everybody in India. Because there
Yes,
are so many.
definitely, definitely.
I mean, to me, I see this not as a novel, but more as a political science introduction.
Yes.
Because I mean, if you understand how
One
things
part of the
work,
politics, which is also a science.
yeah, exactly, right?
Mm.
Exactly. So if you understand the structure, the basic structure of how society is sort of get organized or get manipulated or get misdirected, you know, and how people take advantage of that. And it has everything, this book. If you go deeper,
Yes.
if you analyze, it can be a great, what do you call, analysis of politics and society. You know?
Yeah. When I used to teach, I have a student from class 12th. He
Hmm.
was also in books like me. He also
Hmm.
loves to read. So I have recommended him this book. He was like faster in this scenario. So he was like, sir, I already read this. You need to read Lord of the Files by William. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
you are the smart one.
Okay. Lord of the Flies, I see. I'll take a look.
Yes, Lord of the.
Hmm. Okay, sir. Shall we close?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Yeah, Davji, it is great to have you, Hemant. We'll definitely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
next time, same week, I'll try to keep the timing the same, you know. But even
Okay.
otherwise, if there is a session, I'll keep you posted.
Yes. I joined the Telegram group. So that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
your
seen, I've
group.
seen.
yeah, that is Lawyer Garu's group, Shravan Kumar sir's group.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is a separate
Can
channel
you
where
can
we do some, yeah, I'll post it there. I'll post it there.
yes, you can tell me in that ID. You can
Yeah,
message
a-
me.
absolutely. I'll do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There I can like.
Yeah. Thanks to all the viewers and whoever is going to watch the video later as well. Thank you so much, and thanks to the panelists. Have a
Yes.
wonderful rest of the weekend, and we'll meet next week again. Thank you.
Yes. Work harder.
Ah, exactly.
Work harder.